now called to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan? Here. Mrs. Gensimer?
Here.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Mr. Parzak?
Here.
Mrs. Rich? Here.
The meeting is now open. Adequate notice of the meeting was provided by posting a copy of the time and place on the municipal clerk's bulletin board and mailing a copy of same to the press in Cape May County Herald on January 13th, 2020. Will everyone please rise to salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any communications?
No, Mayor.
We'll now have public comment. Anyone wishing to address mayor and council may do so at this time by coming forward to the microphone and stating your name and address for the record.
Ron Soldano, Ocean View. I'm just looking to see if we have any update on the dredging of Hereford Inlet. Does anybody have any updated reports on that? I know the last time we were speaking about this was, I think Jeff Van Drew was getting involved with it, but then I lost track of it.
So as you know, certain members at the time, it was business administrators and a couple of mayors went to meet with the Secretary of the Interior. And at that time, we were told that he was in agreement with us in the interpretation on the getting the sand from Hereford Inlet.
To get the federal dollars.
Yes. So then when we came back, what we have done since then is, I want to say, and I did have it in front of me just a second ago, I want to say it was the first week in December, hold on, because I do it, December 12th. December 12th, the three municipalities, Stone Harbor, Avalon, North Wildwood, drafted a letter to the congressman and asked him to follow up on all of it, to just follow up and to make sure that now there was some sort of communication between Fish and Wildlife, Army Corps, and so on and so forth, so we could, get moving. And part of the concern, too, had to do with some things going on in North Wildwood. I guess they don't have anything on their horizon, and they're experiencing some difficulties. And I did just happen today to reach out to see if there's been any further movement. Have we heard back from the congressman since that correspondence? And we have not. So that's where it is.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else who would like to address mayor and council?
Yes.
Hi, Ashman.
10301 First Avenue. Just a quick comment or suggestion. In the work session, you were talking about the shared services in the school districts, okay? That idea is not really new. Back 15 years ago, give or take, when I was in the planning board, the county and the state put a guy down here as a pilot for about a year or two and called him a county school superintendent. But the idea was, how do we consolidate, and every district has to go K through 12 and all that kind of stuff. And I forget the guy's name, but his office was right next to Jim Smith over there, who was the planning guy. He was before Leslie.
He was in the county administration building?
Yeah,
Or no?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He had
Okay.
an office there, and he was there about a year or so, and then it kind of just died out, and he retired, and it went away. So I think that's going to happen at some point in time, because the impetus is to make the state more efficient. One of the things that we talked about 15 years ago, when this looked like it might be forced on us, because, Ray's right, the taxes will go crazy if we hooked up with Middle Township, and you were asking, is there anything we can do? One of the things, if you think this is getting closer to be a reality than just a discussion point, is come up with your own idea of what a consolidated district would be. And that might be not geographically hooking with Middle Township, but have Avalon, Stone Harbor, and Wildwood. They have a high school there. It would be about the same size. You have about 1,500 kids or so it would qualify in the thing. And it would be contiguous and more, instead of geography related, more seasonal type places That would be the tie together. They're all seasonal waterfront properties, et cetera. And that would, at the time we ran the numbers, and this was, like I say, it was a lot cheaper if we did it that way than hooking it with Middle. Even though the tax ratables in Wildwood, all four Wildwoods would go together, is still way low compared to ours and Avalon's. But
Yeah.
that might be an idea if you're looking, after you talk to these guys, and if it looks like, is to, rather than wait for them to say, here's the designation, come up with a plan that would work better for us on the taxpayer numbers.
It's interesting, because you automatically just think middle.
Yeah.
Never even occurred to
Well,
me to think,
Yeah, I mean,
that's interesting.
but, and even if you count the miles and all, it's still not that much, it's long and narrow as opposed to deep this way. But
Yeah.
the numbers might be a heck of a lot better, because
Yeah.
at the time we ran the numbers, the taxes, your school tax would triple, and your property tax would go way up too, on it.
Yeah,
So
interesting, yeah.
hopefully it never happens, but
But
that
stuff,
might be
yeah,
a suggestion or
Yeah.
an idea.
yeah, thank you, good idea. Is there anyone else who would like to address Mayor and Council? Seeing no one, I shall close public comment. I lost the play. Ordinance 1565.
Madam Mayor, I move that ordinance 1565 be taken up on first reading.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
This is an ordinance which will allow the Borough of Stone Harbor to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and establish a cap bank. It reads in pertinent part, whereas the Borough Council hereby determines that 2.5% increase in the budget for said year amounting to $270,303.28 in excess of the increase in final appropriations otherwise permitted by the local government cap law is advisable and necessary, and in pertinent part, the final appropriations of the Borough of Stone Harbor shall, in accordance with this ordinance, be increased by 1%, amounting to $108,121.31.
Will the clerk read the title only of ordinance 1565 on first reading?
An ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank.
Madam Mayor, I move that ordinance 1565 be passed on first reading, published according to law, and that it be taken up on second, third, and final reading and adoption at a meeting of mayor and council to be held on the 7th day of April, 2020.
Second?
Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes. Resolution 2020 S57.
Madam Mayor, I move that Resolution 2020 S-57 be moved for adoption.
Second?
This resolution is the formal introduction of the budget, and as part thereof, we will be explaining the budget in full at the next meeting of mayor and council, and the first meeting in April will be the formal adoption of that budget.
Any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mr. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Resolution 2020 S58.
Madam Mayor and Council, I offer for adoption Resolution 2020-S-58.
Second.
This resolution is the 2020 fee schedule for the Recreation Department.
Any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Resolution 2020 S59.
I'd like to offer 2020 S59 for adoption.
Second.
This is setting our schedules for our special events. They go everything from the art and craft show, Chamber of Commerce, the men's softball league, the use of the fields, the building. Some of them, as you can see, have been changed to make it a better document.
Any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Resolution 2020-S60.
Madam Mayor and Council, I offer for adoption Resolution 2020-S-60.
Second.
This resolution authorizes a fee for the Stone Harbor Farmers Market.
Any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Resolution 2020-S61.
Mayor, I offer Resolution 2020-S-61 for adoption.
Second.
This resolution pertains to lifeguard salaries for the upcoming season for all pay categories and related years of service. The rate increase is in the amount of $40 per diem across all categories.
Any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
We had some discussion, did this something that we're going to
Well,
pull
this-
or not?
The next resolution that Mrs. Rich is about to put forward, I think we're all in agreement we're going to do this. We need to do this Phragmite control in the bird sanctuary. My only concern, and I've raised this before, is I'm not an attorney, and I'm voting on something here that's got a lot of legal language in it, and it's got a contractual agreement in it, and before we vote to have you sign it, I think it would behoove all of us to have the solicitor look at it and make sure we're okay. I mean, there's some things in here that, and again, not being a lawyer, but when I read about consequential damages, and these people shall not be held liable even if negligent, that kind of language just, like, whoa. So, I mean, I think, I don't want to hold it up, but if we could have the solicitor review it and get back to us, and you can sign.
And put it on for the next meeting? Everybody good with that? We'll put it on for the next meeting.
Is there any consequence of delaying it?
I don't know.
Who does?
It's not going to happen.
I know that we've been working ahead on this to get it in and thought we had crossed our Ts and dotted our Is.
Is this even negotiable, so to speak? Is this a take it or leave it? We're offering this, but this is how we're offering it. And so either, if for some reason we have it reviewed by our solicitor and it's, I agree with you because those terms, I generally won't sign any agreement that says that in it. But again, it might be one of these contracts where they say, hey, this is all you're getting. And so if you don't agree to it, you don't agree to it, and then we don't do it. So I don't,
Well, can we approve it subject to solicitor's review? I mean, can we approve this and your office look at it and the mayor can sign it later this week? Rather than waiting 2 weeks?
Assuming that we have no proposed changes?
Exactly, right.
Do that?
And you probably won't. I mean, but I would feel better if some legal minds reviewed it.
I'm happy to do that,
So we're going to approve it,
subject to solicitor's review and approval.
so Resolution 2020-S62.
I'd like to offer 2020-S62 for adoption.
Second.
Okay. So this resolution is subject to review by the solicitor and approval, and I'll sign it after that review. Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Resolution 2020-S63.
Madam Mayor and Council, I offer Resolution 2020-S-63 for adoption.
Second.
This resolution is authorizing the mayor to sign a memorandum of agreement regarding the dune vegetation management plan at 289th Street.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Resolution 2020-S64.
Madam Mayor and Council, I offer Resolution 2020-S-64 for adoption.
Second.
This resolution approves updates in the dune management plan application.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Resolution 2020 S65.
Mayor and council, I offer Resolution 2020-S-65 for adoption.
Second.
This is the sale of two excess vehicles, Public Works vehicles, to the city of Runnymede. One is a 13-year-old utility truck, the other is an 18-year-old trash compactor.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Resolution 2020 S66.
Madam Mayor, Madam Mayor and council offer Resolution 2020-S-66 for adoption.
Second.
This resolution is regarding a South Jersey gas to the 94th Street pump station.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
I need a motion approving 3 special event applications that were discussed 2 weeks ago. One is the Stone Harbor Shiver, the other is fitness retreats, and the other is the Wetlands Summer Celebration.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve 3 2020 special events, the Shiver, the yoga retreats, and the Wetlands Summer Celebration.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to go out to bid for the ADA ramps, Phase 1.
So moved.
Second.
We will advertise on March 4th, 2020, receive the bids, and possible award March 17th, 2020. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion for the administrator to proceed as discussed in closed session in reference to a contractual matter.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No items of discussion. No items for discussion are on the agenda. Can I have a motion approving the bill list?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the bill list and authorize the CFO to pay the bills when the funds are available and the vouchers are properly endorsed.
You-
Second.
Second.
Got a second from Frank? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Let's go back into closed session. At this time, we're about to consider a resolution to go into private session. We would appreciate if you would all remain seated until the resolution has been acted upon. At the conclusion of the private session, we'll come back in the public session for the purpose of either taking action as a result of our discussion in private session or to simply adjourn. It is also possible that someone might bring up some other item of business in public session after we come back from private session. Resolution 2020 S67.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Dallahan?
Yes.
Mrs. Gensimer?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.